It's Boss Talk where stories unfold. From the hustle to the power of gold. We talk dreams, we talk big plans. Light it up with your own hands.
What's going on, everybody? It's another wonderful Friday, and you are with the Million Dollar Sis, aka Deanna Diaz, and this is another exciting episode of Boss Talk. Today, there's my guest right there. He's looking real summertime right here, but before I get started, I have to go into my intro. So, have y'all ever met someone who took their struggle, studied it, flipped it, and turned it into a movement? That's exactly who we're sitting down with today. A true game changer in the world of financial empowerment. From navigating his own lack of financial literacy to becoming one of Pittsburgh's go-to financial educators, Tyler Coulverson is proof that the purpose and passion can change lives. He's not just talking about money. He's walking with people. He's walking people into wealth, okay? With over 7 years in the banking industry, leadership at trusted institutions, and his own company, TC Notary LLC, Tyler is bringing budgeting, credit, and home ownership to the forefront, especially for first-time buyers in underserved communities. He's also the host of Financial Literacy with TC, where he makes money talk. When he makes money talk makes sense. And in 2024, he was named one of New Pittsburgh Courier's Fab 40 Under 40, and rightfully so. Now working with United Purpose Mortgage and partnering with schools and nonprofit, Tyler is out here closing gaps and opening doors. Today on Boss Talk, we're tapping into his story, his strategy, his heart for building generational wealth. Get ready to take notes because Tyler Coulverson is in the building.
Hi, Mia.
That's right. That's right. Hey, let's go. So, I know this. A lot of things are born out of the struggle, right? So with you, it was financial literacy. So what made you make that turning point in your life when it came to, what? I don't know much about money, but I need to fix this problem. What was that turning point for you?
So it was probably early 2016, 2017, around those years. I was working 3 jobs. Thought I was making good money, but I was working 100 hours a week, making less than 20 grand. And
Wow, all them hours.
all them hours, right?
20
So,
grand.
yeah, and I was a manager at Dunkin' Donuts. I was a part-time manager at Massage Envy, and I'm working full-time, part-time, and I'm like, I can't buy a house. I ain't had no car, so it just became
Was real.
Yeah, it was like, hold up, I ain't got no social life like that. So yeah, it was a struggle.
All right. So what came first, TC Notary or financial literacy with TC?
So TC Notary came first. That's I had been a year into banking and quickly realized, oh, I need me a side hustle because while I was making more money than I was what I was previously doing, it still wasn't enough. And I started to get better educated on how money works, different ways you can make money. Started paying attention to the political climate a little bit more. And so TC Notary was just born off an opportunity to where my financial institution paid for my notary. And I was like, ooh, I can turn this into an additional income. And so I did.
No, real talk. And, fun fact, I'm a notary as well, just in case y'all
Yeah,
didn't know.
you are.
Yeah. So now, you said something real interesting. You said the political climate. Now, why does the political climate affect the world's finances or personal finances?
Because despite what people know or don't know, financial institutions are governed by, the government, and taxes are a real thing, no matter what type of level of income you're making. And also, as I started to learn more about politics and, how our money is impacted based on the decision makers, like I said, the political climate, impacts everything. So I really started to get into, oh, hold up, homeownership, property taxes go up. And what is that based off of? How my local government is making decisions and, so forth and so on. So it kind of just impacted me in my wallet. And I started to get better educated on, hold up, this is why this matter, because it's a trickle effect. And it impacts me. And for me, as I want to, build a legacy and have a better financial life and financial stability, I need to be educated about, the decisions I made and how the political climate affects me.
So, if you can give me an example of what local government decisions can affect everyday people.
The most simplest one I can think of is the moment I bought my house. I think it was in 2022. Uh, I had the most expensive house on the block, and the school
Okay,
district, the
money.
school. Yeah, I mean, I ain't flexing because the school district came and was like, "Oh, we're going to up your property taxes after 1 year," and that was me understanding and learning more about how that works. Where they're always looking to, I, because I can't think of another analogy, I would say it's a money grab. Oh, a new person moved into the community. Their house is now appraised at this. Oh, let's go in and collect on, mind you, property taxes probably haven't raised until I came in, and so that's just one example that I can think of off the top of my head to where, oh, you were impacted by just moving into a new community, and now you reset the market on your value of homes and stuff.
Okay, wow, it's the money grab for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I had to fight that too. But I mean, you can't stop your property taxes going up, but you can fight back to where it's not a higher
like
percentage.
astronomical.
Yeah, yeah.
How long did that process take for you to fight back?
I want to say maybe 6 months. Because you gotta
That's a
get
long time.
yeah, you got we had to get an attorney. Um, Now it saved us a little bit because they wanted like 66% increase. Yeah, so it was something wild. It went up a little bit, but then again, property taxes can go up at any time. So um, we fought it a little bit, but then after a while, you just try to make sure that your pockets aren't hurting too drastically based on what they're trying to get. So
Yeah, and then you're still paying for lawyer fees and all types of stuff.
yeah,
Jeez. So let's get into financial literacy with TC. Tell us a little bit about that. Yeah.
yes. So I started financial literacy with TC back in 2023, and the goal is really simple. I wanted to see more Black representation when we're talking about money. I intentionally did a Google search, and I come to realize you get to like page 10, 20 before you see a Black person talking about money. And I'm like, well, hold up. You got so many people who look like me trying to come up with wealth and different financial strategies. But let's be honest, people who look like us aren't, the game wasn't built for us to be dominant or win. So we have so many people in my community who are looking at people who don't look like us and trying to get money strategies and wealth tips. But let's keep it a buck. You can't you looking different. Your experiences in banks and different things like that are vastly different just by the color of your skin. And so I wanted to have people who are from our communities, people who have gone through trials and tribulations, people who have success, industry experts to come on my platform and just have that Black representation. So that way our people are consulting with our own people versus going outside of our community to get an education to where, now there's true transparency, there's a relatability factor, and, you don't have to say, well, hold up, if I go in and try that same strategy that this white person just did, will I have the same results? Same credit score, same, my same amount of income, but yet, there's a stigma that, I won't get the same treatment. So I just wanted to have our people elevated in the financial space.
No, that's what we need. That's what we really need. So with that being said, I know you work with like different schools and organizations, things like that. Like what do you do? Like, let's say in high school wants you to come in and talk to the students or whatever. How does that go, and what are the things that you go over and discuss with them?
Yeah, I don't know if I can name drop, but I probably will. I'm an avid speaker at Westinghouse High School, Environmental Charter School. I've been to numerous times. Fulton, I did Penn Hills last year. So basically, to answer your question, what that looks like is I'm coming in talking about the foundational pieces of money, which is budgeting and credit. For me, that's my wheelhouse. That's the wheelhouse I love to live in. I do have other knowledge in other financial topics, but for me, it's hard for you to get into those other financial topics if budgeting and credit isn't, I don't want to say mastered, but isn't stable, or not, you're not knowledgeable about those things.
Foundation.
The foundational piece, exactly. So when I'm talking to the youth, I'm very intentional about letting them know, like, hey, money is a tool that you can take advantage of at an early age. Why are you being held back from the knowledge of how money works? And I use myself as an example, and that's where I'm a little bit different than people who move in the same space as me. I'm very transparent. I give of my experience and my shortcomings and my failures, and I do it voluntarily. Just because I'm in front of the class doesn't mean I'm devoid of financial troubles and problems. Because sometimes
Right.
people in the space come in and they think they're holier than thou, or they think they're all their finances are good to go, and that's not always the case. But I say all that to say the goal for me is to let our youth know that the earlier you have a better grasp on your finances, the easier decisions are being made for you, to where, oh, you want your first car? Maybe I shouldn't go get me a $20,000 vehicle that's going to mess up my credit. Or maybe I shouldn't go get, when I'm looking at going into college, credit card companies are targeting me right out the gate to give me a $5,000, $10,000 credit card. And if I don't understand how interest work, if I don't understand how, if I don't pay it back before the due date, now I'm be paying interest on, the money I spent. So just giving them a foundational understanding of all the decisions that are coming up at 16, 17, 18. And, I know me personally, I would have had an easier path through high school, college, had I had foundational financial literacy education.
No, for real talk. Cause I know when I had bought my first car, I was a I wasn't the traditional college student. I was a little older when I came in because I was coming home from my first deployment, and I had bought a brand new car, and
Right.
then the same bank that I got the car loan from, they turned around and sent me a $5,000 credit card. And and me not knowing no better, I'm in college thinking, you know what I'm saying, balling
Balling.
out of control. As you know,
Absolutely.
had I know
Absolutely.
now what I know then, is that's crazy. So I know you talked about budgeting. So what are the top three things that you think people get wrong about budgeting?
Number one is that they think budgeting is just to something to do for their current circumstance. You can budget for your future lifestyle that you want. For example, me personally, I want multiple homes, multiple rental properties. So I have my now budget with income and expenses look like right now, but I also have budget set aside for what future expenses, what future income that I want to have. And it's basically a roadmap. So that second point is having tangible buckets of how much I want to spend on certain things that I know come up. And we call it your flexible spending, which is the eating out, the subscriptions, entertainment, clothes, food. Like, if you set a tangible amount that you can afford to spend as a bucket, and make sure that you stay within that realm consistently, you can manage your finances. But most people don't want to do that. And then lastly, understanding that there's a column of your budget that is your actual wealth. Most everything in your budget makes someone else richer. There's a column where it's your retirement, your savings, your emergency fund, your investments. And many in our community, we don't prioritize that first. It's always last. And that looks like in the framework of the 60-30 80-20 rule, and I'm saying my only issue with those type of budgeting strategies is, yeah, if I'm the 20%, I'm last in that equation. And if I don't got $10 or $20 for me to put in, how many of us are intentionally cutting half of our paycheck, doing 30% of that, and then come on now, let's keep it a buck. We ain't doing
Yeah,
that.
it's not that many,
Yeah,
because I actually
exactly.
started that. I actually started that during the pandemic, because
Okay,
the pandemic gave us a lot of time to sit down and think about some things.
for sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely, that's, to be honest, that's when I started breaking it down. So now you mentioned something that I want to ask you. So what breakdown, like you said, 30 and something percent, like, so for people who don't know, what do you suggest is a good breakdown for when you get paid?
Honestly, there's nuance to that question because I don't believe in one size fits all. I believe in really having a conversation and doing an assessment on how you spend, if I'm being honest. So therefore, people lack discipline a lot of times when it comes to budgeting. They just, I live off just checking my bank statement and that tells me how much I can work. It's not intentional on how to be strategic about your spending. So to answer the question, I would say let's literally look at your spending habits based off your past history, and then let's move to, being intentional about, well, what are your financial goals? And once we have those two pieces of the equation, now we can come up with the best strategy that works for you. And that can look different to whoever the individual is, because I really try to attack the financial habits that people struggle with versus, oh, just do this or just do that. Knowing that emotional spending, like there's trauma, and this is where I've been being intentional about my education is learning about, the financial wellness piece of it, to where people are being there's traumas that they faced in their past that deals with their finances. So shout out to Realty Thinking. They give me the tools and resources to build up my financial wellness education. So I definitely got to shout them out.
I know that's right. We'll shout out to them. We're gonna clap for them real quick.
Yeah, Malik Carter, that's my house.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So and well, you said something about emotion, when it comes to spending, and it's like that is really important. I was fortunate enough that when my mother passed away, she left me something. But at the same time, I was I was her only child, and I was living in North Carolina at the time, and I was going through so much grief that I
Right.
was spending, you know, during
Absolutely.
my grieving period, and it was, it was a very bad thing, and I wish that I did go get the help that I
That
needed.
you did. Absolutely.
Yeah, so that I can maintain a little bit more than what she had left me. So
Yeah.
that's deep right there. So um, what are, like, you talk about people spending? What are, like, the top five things that people will spend an excess amount, an unnecessary amount of money on?
Let's keep it
Food, I
buck.
know, got to be one of them.
Oh, for sure. I'll even go to exorbitant amount of dollars on gender reveals. And again, I don't begrudge people
Wow.
doing that, but understanding that if your finances don't predicate you being able to do it in a way where you're not hurting in other areas, then it's a problem. And weddings can be, and again, it's not to besmirge our community on enjoying life in those great moments, but
You just got to
it,
afford to do it. That's
right,
all.
exactly. And many people are doing this stuff on credit, and that's where again, and we have many people who want to keep up with the Joneses, and they don't want to be truthful about what their financial situation looks like. And that's why my whole platform is designed. I want our people to be comfortable about sitting in a coffee shop or a cafe and talking about, because white people do it. I've been to Squirrel Hill, I've been to Sewickley, I've been
All the
to
time.
they're very open about talking about their investment portfolios, there's how much money they made in the stock market, this and that. But it's our people who we shy away. We want to look good on social media, but mind you, our personal finances aren't where they need to be behind the scenes. And I just want to build a platform where we can be open and honest and not judge each other on our shortcomings, but be honest about, bro, you think you're showing me you got it like that, but when I come to talk to you about let's do this, or what the disposable income look like for us to get into real estate and buy up these blighted properties, you ain't got it.
Ain't got it. Ain't got it. That is, man, that's crazy. Ain't got it. Need to put that on a shirt. You ain't got it. So,
Yeah.
but we have reached our 20-minute mark. And of course, before you go, we have to do our this or that Boss Talk lightning round. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get this unnecessary music popping. Turn that down some. All right, so budgeting or credit building?
Budgeting.
Bank life or entrepreneur life?
Entrepreneur life, easy.
Teaching teens or first-time home buyers?
Ooh. I'm gonna say teaching teens.
Notary stamp or podcast mic?
Ooh. Notary stamp.
Night owl hustle or early morning grind?
Early morning grind.
Buying a home or helping someone else buy one?
Helping someone else buy one.
Fixed interest or flexible opportunity?
Flexible opportunity.
Group workshop or one-on-one coaching?
Group workshop.
Podcast episode or YouTube breakdown?
Podcast episode.
Generational wealth or community empowerment?
Ooh. Community empowerment. That might have been the toughest one.
That was not what that was supposed to be. There it is. All right, Mr. Tyler, Mr. Coulverson, Mr. Money Man, I want to thank you so much for being on my show today. It was a pleasure having you, and you definitely dropped some good information, and you're doing such a great work within the community. So on behalf of everybody who has dealt with you and will deal with you in the future, I just want to say thank you and give you your flowers. So
Thank you. I shout out an event coming up.
say again.
And I shout out an event coming up.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
So August 28th, United Purpose Mortgage, my brokerage firm, we are hosting a Brick by Brick along with Bridge City Connection. Shout out to Jordan Pratt. So that's the 28th of August, which is a Thursday from 6 to 9. It'll be at the Cohatch Waterfront, 137 Bridge, West Bridge, Homestead. They're on Facebook and on Eventbrite. You can find the event to register, and we'll be talking brick by brick, and it's about home ownership. And we're also partnered with PNC that will be talking about business commercial ownership. And so definitely I want to invite people to come out and start to build relationships, how you can get your first home, second home, how you can have a commercial property, and just learn how to own.
No, for real. Ownership is great. That's what Master P keeps saying. So,
Yeah.
so that's all in the Pittsburgh area. So if you'll be in or around the Pittsburgh area, please do show up, and I'll leave that link in the description bar below. For everybody else, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Comment on how you feel about the video, what stood out the most to you, and I'll also leave Tyler's information in the description bar below. I want to thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of Boss Talk, and just to let you know, hey, get it back there, get it. So if you want to be on the next episode, all you have to do is reach out to me using the information in the description bar below. And if you want to sponsor an episode, you can do the same thing. Make sure you hit me up. It was a pleasure having you, Tyler, and it was a pleasure having you all be a part of the audience today. And I will see you on the next episode of Boss Talk.
Step inside the fire glow. Watch your seeds begin to grow. Boss Talk, where your story flies underneath the city lights. Boss Talk, hear the voices rise. Every boss owns the sky. It's Boss Talk, where legends are made. No more fear, no more shade. Build it up, brick by brick, till the world feels your kick. Step inside the fire glow, watch your seeds begin to grow.